The historic confirmation hearings for the first black woman Supreme Court nominee were mired in misogyny, racism, and plain old bananery. But there were moments of grace as well, like this powerful moment with someone who knows what it means to be among the first, the few, or the only. California's first Latino senator, Alex Padilla.
What would you say, Judge Jackson, to all those young Americans, the most diverse generation in our nation's history? What do you say to some of them who may doubt that they can one day achieve the same great heights that you have?
I would tell them to persevere.
Joining me now is California Senator Alex Padilla, member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator Padilla, welcome back to the Sunday Show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Jonathan. Good to be back with you.
So, Senator Padilla, tell me about that moment between you and Judge Jackson.
Actually, so glad you're raising this and that we're talking about it, because it needs to be amplified. I mean, I saw day after day after day, and you've covered this in your prior interviews, the two hearings that were taking place. You know, one, predominantly Democrats focused on issues of law, questions of judicial philosophy, and the qualifications that we would all hope to have in a Supreme Court justice. And then on the Republican side, attack after attack, undermining her record, taking items out of context. She deserves better. The country, frankly, deserved better than what we saw last week. And knowing that she's not just more than eminently qualified to be a Supreme Court justice, but is on the verge of making history. What it takes for someone like Judge Jackson, as she told the story herself, growing up in Miami, graduating from public schools, having the audacity to apply for and go to Harvard College, to graduate from Harvard Law School, her public and private sector experience as an attorney before becoming a judge, having more experience as a judge than 4 of the current Supreme Court justices combined when they were nominated, only to be subjected to the attacks from my Republican colleagues. It was infuriating. And having been through similar struggle, I couldn't help but relate. I couldn't help but connect with Judge Jackson heart to heart, and I figured she deserved to have that platform to respond to that with the grace that she did with that question and the grace that she demonstrated throughout the hearings last week.
You know, one of the things that was among many that was offensive about the line of questioning from some Republicans on the committee was that they were sort of beside the point. They had nothing really to do with Judge Jackson, her qualifications, her philosophy, or anything, and everything to do with their potential candidacies for president. That's the way it came across to me sitting at home or in my office watching in the hearings. You were in the room. Was that the elephant in the room, that these jokers were really running for president on the back of a black woman Supreme Court nominee?
Yeah, look, it was palpable, Jonathan. What we got from Judge Jackson was grace, grace, grace. What we got from several of our Republican colleagues was grievance, grievance, grievance. And I think it was actually one of the Republicans, Senator Sass, who called them out for, I'm not going to use the terminology he used, but he called out that I think their objective was clear. They just wanted a campaign video as an outcome of this, which, again, is a disservice and disrespect to the process. This is a confirmation hearing for a Supreme Court nominee, someone who has the credentials and could serve on the highest court in the land for decades to come. And so we got to keep bringing the focus back there. For all the Republicans said, well, I have no questions about your record, no questions about your qualifications, but then to pivot and try to make a political statement, it was infuriating. But the longer that Judge Jackson was in that hot seat, the better she looked, in my opinion, and how she answered to those questions, the temperament that she displayed. And I want to emphasize this, Jonathan. If after seeing all of that, reviewing her record, seeing her grace under pressure, if she cannot get bipartisan support from committee and the full Senate to be confirmed, it is a sad state in America and sends a horrible message to the country about the, if you're concerned about the politicization of the Supreme Court, about where we are.
Well, actually, on that point, real quickly, Senator, you raise a good point. If Judge Jackson doesn't get a single Republican vote, what does that say about our politics? But I'm reminded that now Justice Amy Coney Barrett didn't get a single Democratic vote. What do you make? So should Judge Jackson, should you be expecting a Republican vote for her, given that there were no Democratic votes for Amy Coney Barrett?
So, first of all, this is the first Supreme Court confirmation hearing I've been a part of. I just joined last year, so I wasn't there for the prior ones.
Right.
What I am saying is this. We want to set the highest standard for somebody who's nominated to serve in the highest court in the land. Judge Jackson has more than met that standard. She has surpassed that standard incredibly well and brings a lot more to the table, given her diverse background, not just as a first black woman, but by itself, that is incredibly important and powerful. But being the first person to bring a public defender experience to the administration of justice in the highest court of the land, incredibly helpful and important. And of course, as a working mom, as a working parent myself, we know how much that influences our lens and our outlook. And so she's earned it. She's earned not just support, but bipartisan support, in my opinion. And now the question is to my Republican colleagues: will they look at it on the merits, on the qualifications, and vote accordingly, or fall into the politicization, the political forces on the Republican side?
We're going to be talking more about Judge Jackson's nomination hearings in the next hour, including an NBC News poll just out this morning that shows that she is the most popular Supreme Court nominee. Look, you can see it right there. 36% support her, and the least opposed at 17%. So the rock star nominee with support of the American people. Senator Padilla, we're going to have to let it go because we're already 2 minutes. We're already 2 minutes over. Real quick.
One last quick thing. She deserves bipartisan support. She's gotten bipartisan support not once, not twice, 3 times, having been confirmed in the past with bipartisan support.
Right, including a vote from Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. Senator Padilla, thank you, as always, for coming to the Sunday Show.